Hello and welcome to Hall Pass, the show that brings you up close and personal with the amazing and talented students in the Virgin Islands. I'm your host, Cynthia Graham. On today's show, we'll take you out into the field to see what students are learning about agriculture. This school year, the Department of Education has increased its push for agriculture education at the territory's public schools. From school-based gardens to raising poultry, agriculture is alive and well at our schools. First, let's go inside this year's St. Croix Agriculture Fair. There, we spoke to a few students about agriculture and saw some pretty impressive displays.
This is Kiva Muller and we're back here with Hall Pass. Here today I have
Leilani Henrys.
And your name is?
Maylene Henrys.
And you guys are with what school?
Alfredo Andrews 21st After School Program.
Okay, so tell me what the after school program does.
They give us snacks. We do our homework. We go to the teachers. We practice reading. We practice our exams and we go play outside and we also get ready. We make stuff for agriculture too.
Okay, and what do you do in after school program?
We practice reading, math, science, spelling, and study for our homework and to get better in class. And we go to different classes. Like we have agriculture, or they had a woman who just came. Her name was Miss Ia, and last year she teaches us about Black history.
Okay, good. So tell me, what are you guys doing here at the fair?
We're selling moringa lemon.
Is that up here?
So
okay, show me.
It's this.
Okay, what's that?
Moringa lemon basil soap.
Okay, and what else?
Lip balm. It's like chopstick.
What do you have over here?
And we have body butter and curry seasoning.
Oh, great. So you guys are having a good time?
Yes.
Yes?
Yeah. We're also doing at the fair is we're doing hay bale.
Oh. Well, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
It was a pleasure. Keep up the good work. Back here at the Ag Fair, and I have Miss John H. Woodson Junior High School with me. What's your name?
My name is Helena Gonzalez.
And how are you enjoying the fair?
I really like the fair this year more than last year because for it to be the first day of fair, I see more people and it makes me happy.
Okay, good. Does your school have a booth here?
Yes, they do.
Definitely. We're going to go around and see those. So tell me, is this year, are you giving up your reign or are you just getting into it?
Well, I just got my reign this year about a couple months ago. Therefore, I will be giving up my crown next year.
Okay, so what have you been doing? Are you excited?
Yes, I am excited. And thus far, I've participated in when the village occurred. I wore my crown and I represented my school. I represented my school in a parade as well and in other different activities.
Yeah, lastly, tell me, what grade are you in?
I'm in 8th grade.
So you get ready to graduate. You excited?
Yep, I am.
What school are you going next?
Well, I might end up going to the educational complex because of the honors program.
Oh.
Yeah.
All right, thank you.
No problem.
And we're here with the St. Croix Central High School indomitable, diverse class of 2017, and they are selling local drinks.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. This is
Samuel Gittins Jr.
He is a member of the senior class. So I am here getting a lemonade. Thank you, sir. And what are you guys raising funds for?
We're for our class trip in April.
April, where are you guys going?
We're going on a cruise. We're going from like Aruba, Panama Canal, Florida, Colombia, Cuba. Yeah, that's where we're going. We're on a 12-day cruise.
12 days. You guys are going to be well traveled. You excited?
I'm very excited.
Excited for graduation too?
Yeah.
Ah.
Move on to the next step. I'm ready.
So what other drinks do you have today?
Well, here we have fruit punch, lemonade, passion fruit, Mojave, sorrel, tamarind, ginger beer, and for $4 is peanut punch and sea moss.
And what's your favorite drink?
The passion fruit. I love passion fruit.
That's my favorite too, but I'm trying out the lemonade, trying to be diverse today, like the class. All right, so you guys gonna be here for the whole weekend?
Whole weekend. Yeah, I'm gonna just come here and buy some drinks. It's the best drinks here, you know. I tell y'all know.
Well, let me put that to the test. This lemonade is good. It has a kick to it too. All right, well, thank you.
Thank you.
Samuel, and good luck to your class, and I hope you raise enough funds and you have a great time on the class trip.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Right.
I can't wait.
Today we have Mr.
Mario Capriola,
and you are from?
Good Hope Country Day School.
Okay, and we're in the agricultural fair. So tell me, what do you guys have here today?
Okay, well, this is our school booth, and we were really going with the theme of like hope for the future. And what we kind of themed our booth is, if you look around, we start from like the past, we move over to the present, and then we go towards the future with the background of our booth. But then we also have a lot of different side projects around the booth, kind of that the whole school got into, and each grade did their own little project. So yeah, it was really a big group effort from the school.
And it's all agriculture based. I see some plants, some marine life, island life as well.
Yeah, definitely it's all agriculture based. The little kids did a lot of, the lower school did a lot of gardening stuff. High school did a lot of research on herbs and marine life.
All right, thank you. So show me, what do you guys have here?
Okay, so a few of the projects that we did were, so this right here is a healthy coral reef. The marine biology class researched all the different corals and then researched what they look like while they are healthy, or what a healthy reef would look like, and then each student took their favorite coral and then made it out of recycled materials, and then they put that together. The environmental science class put together healthy herbs, and we researched I'm in environmental science, so we researched the herbs and then wrote the advantages to having those herbs in your diets and what the benefits are to including them. And that's why we call it health, herbs, and hope for the future. So over here, the economics class did infographics about virtually anything they wanted connecting to agriculture. So this one right here is about the prices in the VI and why they're so high due to importing so much stuff from the States. So it was basically to encourage people to buy local from the markets and stuff, which would also help our economy as well. And then this one down here is all about the frangipani caterpillar and its life and how it grows into a moth. But it was all about the advantages to having them in your garden, because a lot of people kill them because there's a misconception that they kill the plants, and while they do eat the leaves, after they've eaten the leaves, they'll grow back healthier. The plants will. And over here, we have the 10th grade Spanish class that was learning about healthy diets and healthy living. So this poster is all about different exercise routines, and then they even have a song here to go with it, and the different things they did during their exercise routine. First grade and preschool made their own gardens on campus where they grew different things for their garden, and they were able to eat it afterwards, as opposed to going out to the stores and buying imported goods.
Let me tell you, that day was a lot of fun, and we look forward to doing it all over again next year. In March, we celebrated National Agriculture Week. All over the country and right here in the territory, schools and communities highlighted the importance of agriculture. Let's take you first to St. Croix, where students sold fresh produce harvested from their school-based gardens at a special farmers market held on the Agriculture Fairgrounds. You have to see this. Then we'll take a tour of the St. Thomas Abattoir, where students learned all about the process of meat production. Let's take a look.
Good day, everyone. My name is Kirk Lewis. I'm the Director of Agriculture for the Department of Education. And we're here at the abattoir to talk to you a little bit about meat production and from the farm to the table. Most of us, when we go to the supermarket, we see the meat already packaged and ready to eat. But there's a process that occurs before it gets there. And so one of the places that occurs is here at the abattoir. We have two abattoirs, one here in St. Thomas and one on St. Croix. And there are federal inspectors that inspect the meat to make sure that it is proper for it to be processed and to be given to people. Fish is another meat product. Of course, one of my jobs is to continue the operation of the tilapia farm at Ivani Dorican High School, which we produce tilapia fish along with produce. The good thing about it is fresh. There is no added chemicals to these sheep, pigs, cows, or other animals. They all produce here on the islands, and the farmers need your support. Certainly need your support in buying the products that they are producing, not just the animals, but also the vegetables.
Welcome to the St. Thomas Abattoir. My name is Elton George, Assistant Director. And what we do here, we do a service for the farmers and the local community. So when farmers have livestock to be slaughtered, they bring them here and we take care of it for them. So it's a process that we do here when we bring animals in. Once they are brought in here, like on the day before slaughter, and the reason for that is to avoid stress, because everybody knows what stress is all about, right? Animals get stressed just like people. So we don't advise people to bring them the same day after slaughter, because when they're trying to run the animals down and catch them, they become very agitated and it makes our job a little harder when they get here. So we keep them overnight and the next day they're pretty calm. And once we're ready to slaughter and our inspectors are on board, which is the USDA Department of Agriculture, food service and safety inspectors that have to be here. And then they're put on that table, and from there, if we have pigs, they are put in this scalding tank right here. That's where we put pigs in there with a 120 degrees temperature. And when they get ready, we turn them and we put them into this machine right here, which is called a deherring machine. And what a machine does, you see the way it's spinning? It lifts the carcass and keeps turning the pig over and over, and it takes off like 98% of the hairs from the carcass. And we put it there, we take out the remaining hairs. And for pigs, you have to cut out the mouth, you have to cut out the eyelids, and you have to cut out the hairs, because there's hairs inside those areas that the machine can't remove, now the torch doesn't remove it, so we have to cut it out manually. Because all hairs have to be removed from animals before we open it up, because hair is a source of bacteria, main source. If we were slaughtering today and you was here observing, everybody here would have to have on some kind of a hat, hairnet or whatever. You couldn't be in here otherwise than that because again, hair carry bacteria. Once it's done, it's hooked up on this hoist right here, and this is what you call our gutting station or evacuation station, but gutting is easier for you to understand. So the carcass is then opened up and all the intestines are taken out and they're placed here in this tray and they'll be examined, which will be the heart, the liver, the lungs, kidneys and everything. And once it's okay, we remove it from there and then it's placed over here and then it's washed in this tray right here by this sprayer. Will keep washing it, and then once from there it'll stay there, and then we'll remove it and place it on the side once everything is okay. And once the animal is everything, we check the lymph nodes in the throat. The inspector checks that. That's the first place they check for bacteria or disease, because everything consumes through your mouth, and you check those to see if you have any infection. If there's no infection in that, then you check the heart and liver and everything is okay. And once it's done, it's weighed and then it's stamped with a USDA stamp of approval. And then when the customers come, it's bagged and it's dished out. Okay? And then if you're going to cut anything up like small, we use this machine right here, which is a bandsaw. And what this machine does, it'll cut things into certain cuts that you want. These are freezers that we keep stuffing overnight if we have to. Small pieces, we cut them up like this and give it to the customer. If they want it in chops or they want steaks, whatever it is, we cut it for them. We use these devices for pigs, okay? This is what we use to put the pigs them down. Like what it does, it stuns them. It doesn't kill them. You electrocute them, you put it behind the back of their head, you hit the button, and then it knocks them unconscious. Once you put a pig in this and the basket and it's ready, we pull this lever and see what it does, taking the hairs, removing the hairs from it. Once that's done, and like I said, that doesn't remove all the hairs, so then we put it on this table here, and we have a process called singeing, which we use a torch. And what this does, this removes the remaining hairs from the carcass before we open it. Remember I said that all hairs have to be removed before you can open it up, right? So this works with gas, it's just a torch. I'll show you basically how it works. Once this is lit, you have the carcass on the table right here, and you turn it up to what temperature, how high you want it to, and you pass it on the carcass back and forth, making sure that you remove all the hairs. When they stamp it with a USDA stamp, which they have the control of the stamps, I do the stamping, but they bring the stamp to me and I stamp the animal, and each slaughterhouse has a number. My number is 7385. 7385 or 482, which is Sinkoi. This is another one of the equipment that we use at the St. Thomas Abattoir, and this is called an overhead splitting saw. And the purpose of this saw is to split large carcasses from the top straight down to the middle. And it operates just like this. This is the way it operates. And this will cut through bone, everything.
Good day to everyone. My name is Manley James. I'm the Director of Agricultural Development, and I'm here to tell you about the rearing of livestock in the Virgin Islands. The Department of Agriculture has recognized the need to really encourage farmers, livestock farmers, to grow and rear animals. For example, we do know in the Virgin Islands, the main stock that's reared for meat and meat products, it's pig, and then we also have small stocks such as sheep and goat. In terms of cattle, we do know that cattle, in rearing cattle, you need a large space, you need lots of land. And St. Thomas, as we do know, the terrain is not too friendly towards the rearing of large stock. This is being done on St. Croix. The Department of Agriculture recognizing the need to reduce the importation of meat and meat products. So the abattoir plays a key role in encouraging farmers to rear animals. And the Department of Agriculture wants to assist the farmers and want to build up the livestock industry in St. Thomas or throughout the Virgin Islands. We recognize we cannot decrease the importation of meat and meat products right down to zero, no. But we can begin to do so gradually so that we can depend upon ourselves more to feed ourselves, not only in terms of crop and crop produce, but livestock and meat products.
Fresh organic vegetables and meat produced right here in the Virgin Islands. I'd say the future of agriculture is bright for our students. And finally, we're going to the bee farm. What a great experience that was. One I will surely never forget. I spent the morning with Ronil Allenbert, Mr. V.I. Honeyman himself, and his mother, the Queen Bee, Miss Honey Lady, at their bee farm in Estate Carlton on St. Croix. It was a busy morning. Well, anyway, take a look at this.
My name is Ronil Allenbert, known as the Honeyman, the V.I. Honeyman. We have the Queen Bee of the hive, second generation and first generation.
Yes.
My mom. My job is to remove bees out of people's house. I raise honeybees and I usually sell the honey to make a profit. This is actually what you call a beehive, where you actually could harvest honey from, sometimes 2 to 3 times a year in the tropical islands. In the States, they harvest honey once a year. This is what you call a smoker. Anytime you go into a hive, you got to make sure that you have good smoke so the bees could understand and you can talk to your bees. And always remember, do not be like me. Make sure that you have protective gear. Always. The bees get up in the morning to go and work early in the morning. They go to the flowers or they go and search for flowers. They go and collect 2 types of food, nectar and pollen. The nectar is what turns into honey. Pollen is what they eat every day. Would you like to have a taste? What does it taste like?
Like fresh, homegrown honey. Good stuff.
Pure, natural.
Yes.
Non-feeding, non-GMO.
Organic.
Pure organic. Once they start to make nectar, once they start to bring the nectar inside of the hive, they stores it inside of these small holes. Then you will see the bees put a fan in, like they were clustered and fan together. Some question you might ask why the honeycomb is dark. For example, when the bees start to make honey, the comb will actually be discolored or make sure sometime whiter. Age, the longer it's inside of the hive, it just stays and get darker. But this is how it usually starts out. The bees cluster together and they made this themselves. So you can see what the bees are building. It's the bees is who gathered all of these and clustered and made it by themselves. This is what you call beeswax. This is the brood in the hive. This is where the queen lives. You could actually see 2 different seals, a brown seal and a white seal, a more clear seal. This brown seal is where you could see all the worker bees. In 21 days after the queen lays the eggs, they hatch. There are 3 different types of bees in a hive. Queen, worker bees that I'm seeing right now, and a drone. The drone is the male bees. The worker bees is the female bee, but won't reproduce. Her job is just to do the work in the hive, go and collect the food, go and collect the nectar, clean up the hive, feed the queen. That's the worker bee job, and to protect the hive again. The drone, his job is just to mate the queen. He doesn't do no other work.
So what is that apparatus that you have there with that smoke coming out?
This is what you call a smoker. Anytime you go into a hive, you got to make sure that you have smoke in order to work with the bees. Without the smoke, the bees is going to be very, very aggressive. So once you give them a little smoke, it makes the bees think that it's a fire around. So they don't mind me that much. They just continue doing the work and trying to see, okay, hey, it's just a fire. They're trying to see if they could hurry go and drink up some of the honey, and they might end up take off. But when they realize that, okay, there's not a fire, they're just going to continue doing the work. From April to October, that's when you usually get a honey flow on this island. So if you start a hive in June of last year, you guarantee to get honey out of that same hive. Once you manage that hive at the right way, you will get honey in a year's time. Beekeepers wear the color white mostly because bees tend to don't like certain colors, especially dark colors. Black, especially the Africanized bees, they don't really like. If you're going to be working around the bees and every day, you got to make sure that you have on white clothes. It deters the bees from attacking you that much. If you're interested in beekeeping, the first thing I always tell the students, please stay in school, learn how to read and write. Because if you want to do beekeeping, you're trying to tell me you want to have your own business. In order to have your own business, you got to know how to read and write. You don't want to depend on someone to read for you. And in order for me to make this business get bigger, I had to learn how to read and write about the bees. I had to go and read books because it ain't everything my dad taught me or it ain't everything my mom taught me. Or if it's everything my mom is going to teach me in bees, that's all I am going to know. Because why? I can't read and write. But if I can read and write, when my mom taught me something and I read in a book, I'm going to tell her, hey, you're doing it the wrong way. Because the book said, let's try it this way and see if it's going to work. Now, if you want to learn about beekeeping now, you could still contact me. My number is 340-642-8740. I usually have summer classes, but you got to make sure that you have suits, like I said. You can't just say you're going to be working around bees and don't have no protective gear. That's the first thing you got to start with.
My trip to the bee farm was as fun as it was educational. While bee farming is not something students are involved in currently, it may be another area of agriculture they could explore in the future. Well, that's it for tonight's show. Thank you to all the students, teachers, and community members who are committed to the cause of agriculture in the Virgin Islands. I'm your host, Cynthia Graham, and I'll see you right here next time on Hall Pass.